great day, beautiful day out here, beautiful day out here. Man, it's beautiful. Around the 70s where I'm living, around the 70s. Like I mentioned before, this is the last week I'm gonna do videos in the morning. Starting a new job, new journey, new opportunity, new experience. So I may have to do recorded videos or do videos live in the evening. But appreciate y'all support. Appreciate y'all support. Still gonna be keeping this channel rolling. Uh, Only on weekends. I probably do live videos on the weekends in the morning. I believe that'll be the only days I can do it in the morning because of my new job. Because I don't really work on the weekends. But so I'm gonna be up here live in the morning. But again, appreciate y'all for y'all support on this channel. Uh, appreciate it. I do. This channel is very therapeutic for me. Things that be on my mind, things that pop up, situations. I get to talk to you guys about certain situations, a lot about life. You know, and I think that's very important. That's very important that we look at life from. I think we look at life from other people's perspective as well. You know, sometimes we always think about ourselves and how we feel, about certain situations. But oftentimes we have to look from other people's point of view in life and see how they feel about you, how they feel about the way you're progressing, the way they feel. We can't just look at ourselves and think that everybody likes us or everybody enjoys our company. You know, you know, you got to think about what can I do to make everyone feel. You're not gonna please everybody, but you can be the best person you can be. I think the most important thing in life is the golden rule: to treat people the way you want to be treated. And I think you'll receive the opportunities that you always wanted. And I feel like that's why I've gotten a lot of opportunities, because I treat people the way I want to be treated. You know, Even though people may treat me a certain kind of way or say certain things that they feel will trigger a different side of me. I try to keep my composure, keep who I am. Keep who I am. And so it's a lot of things that we have to think about in life in order to move forward. But what I'm talking about in this video, I can't stand selfish people, and I think selfishness comes in different forms. Selfishness comes in different forms. You know, you can be doing great things, but if you're not in consideration of who's and what's around you, you know, that's being selfish. You have to consider everything. You know, if you progressing and your family is not progressing, that's not a great thing. That's not a great thing. You have to think about others. You know, you can be doing the great things in life, and you're not considering other people's feelings, and you talking to people all types of ways that, like people that always say I this, I that, you know, I feel like that's a person that doesn't really consider people's feelings. They set themselves as a higher priority than people that's around them, you know, and that can be a bad thing as well, you know. So again, appreciate y'all for being in here. Appreciate y'all for being in here. But yeah, I can't stand people that's very selfish. You know, they only consider what they feel over everybody else. You know, that's not a. I feel that's not a way to progress. You know, so for example, uh, I may be trying to go in a direction in life. I may be trying to go in a direction in life uh, where uh, I'm trying to, I may be in a direction of life where I'm trying to go in a certain direction, a certain field, a certain goal that I have. And somebody that's already there tell me advice, And so it's only two options, You take their advice and you learn from it and you be successful. Or number two, you listen to the advice and you say, I'm gonna do what I want to do. I feel what I feel. But I think the best option is take what they say, take their advice, and mold it into the best decision that's for you, the best choice that's for you, and see what happens. I would say it's kind of like remixing what people advice is, I'll say it's like remixing, You don't want to do everything exactly how other people do because you want to have your own identity. But at the same time, you want to take people's advice because they've been where you're going, And I think that's a problem for a lot of people. They feel like if they take people's advice that they're doing exactly what the person wants them to do. But in actuality, you have to, take what they say and mold it into what you're trying to do, that you feel like, but first of all, you have to have a clear vision on where you're trying to go, You have to have a clear vision on where you're trying to go in life or you won't progress, And I think that's very, very important that you have a clear vision on where you're trying to go, You have to have a clear vision, So appreciate y'all for being in here. Just something that's been on my mind because I've talked to people in the past, tried to give them advice, feel like it's going one ear and out of the other, and they continue to do the same thing and they don't see no progress in their actions and what they do. And, that's a sign of a selfish person, They just want to express how they feel without listening to the things that they need to do to move forward, And you'll never progress when you're always thinking about, thinking about other things. And so, again, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all for watching. Hope you're having a great day. Thank y'all for always supporting this channel. But yeah, I can't stand selfish people. You gotta think about other people. Consider other people's feelings. That's the main thing. Consider other people's feelings. Understand things from other people's perspectives, and and then you can move forward. Again, appreciate you for y'all for tuning in. Hope y'all having a great day. Hope y'all inspired, and hope y'all have a great day. All right, peace.